Welcome to Buddhism religion. Buddhism views women as inferior gender to men. Inferiority complex is brought by natural orders of creation. Nature and understanding makes women to be weak in thoughts and strength, but strongest in adorations. Buddhism views them as easily manipulated or easily to influence. Their physical appearance convinces men, hence women's freedom were extremely limited to control sexual behaviors, sexual activity, sexual temptations, and unplanned pregnancies. Their movements were restricted at homes under protection from their parents as teens, protection from their husbands during marriage, and under the control of their sons or grandsons during old age. According to Buddhism, much freedom given to women leads to spoilage. Freedom leads to carelessness, irresponsibility, and promotes forgetful nature among women. Hence, their roles were limited to housewives, house daughters, and house sisters, obedience to rules set by their grandfathers, fathers, husbands, or brothers. Girls and young married women were not allowed to get out of homestead unless necessary by uncertainty such as funerals. Home shoppings were done by men. Girls were escorted to learning institutions or shopping centers by their fathers or elder brothers. To a great extent, some families had to hire security officers to escort their daughters, and so unemployed men might employ government security officers for crucial missions as protecting their female as well as spying on them from romance. In other words, restricting women to socialization reduces sexual behaviors. Temple services were separated from boys to girls, from men to women, from young to elderly, from married to unmarried. Common services for men and women were allowed for marriage couples or elderly men and women believed to have diminished in beauty or sexually deactivated, meaning oldness reduces sexual feelings and sexual lust as youthful years. Buddhism accepts sexual unions in marriage, opposite gender marriage with no specified ages. Sexual activated teens unable to control sexual lust were allowed into marriage. Early marriages to control sexual feelings, or rather permitting official status to control premarital affairs together with sexual immorality by marriage. Buddhism prefers teenage marriage within marital context, strongly rebukes all pregnancies gotten without marital justifications. Pregnancies from courtship hasn't substantive basis among Buddhists. Pregnancy outside marriage involving marriage partners has substantive basis among Buddhists, meaning wedlock children from married partners were accepted or legal. Wedlock children within marriage context is lawful. Widows were not allowed to remarriages, irrespective of their ages. Remarriages create sexual immorality. One married partner might kill another partner due to wrong union to achieve remarriage from marriage botheration, marriage conflicts, desire for another union, to be single for sexual freedom, or inheritance matters. And so most women do kill their husbands. Buddhism provides options for such married single women. First option was to kill herself by jumping into funeral pyre of her husband to be spiritually united. Second option was the willing choice of death for spiritual reunification with her husband. Widows unwilling to die were later allowed into religious oaths to serve Buddha's temples alongside divinities until death. Buddhism religion views girls as burden to family business. Fathers and sons are to bear excessive responsibility for guarding them as shepherds after a flock. Father's failure to take care of his daughter or daughters creates loophole for spoilage from boys. Fathers were allowed such responsibility because they were considered best decision makers. To some extent, mothers might fail to control their daughters, for two women might not share one roof. Sometimes girls might beat their mothers. Sometimes brothers might hook up their sisters to friends for favors. Restricting a girl movement is restricting possibility for conception. Buddhism followers attended conception services for offerings and sacrifice before fallen gods and goddesses. Such conception favors were made to conceive a boy child, but for a girl child were considered a sign of misfortunes by families. Boys were desired because they needed less protection to maintain family lineage or name, to perform family duties and religious duties. Boys were preferred for shopping and messengers for family members or religion functions. High number of girls increased family disturbance from sexual seductions. Seduction arouses girls' sexual behaviors from boys. So it was common for families to hire police officers to guard their daughters and against distraction from boys among families which had no sons. When girls were born into families, most parents complained to Buddha why he and father divinities had allowed stress to fall into their families. Sometimes Buddha had to pacify them by telling them not all girls are sexually active or full of disturbance. Good daughters are as good as sons. Thanks for your time. I've been your host, Emal Sagit, and the model of pregnancy.